Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the government scheme session. The scheme that we are covering, it is PLI scheme for millet based products. So in our last one we completed PLI scheme for food processing industry, and I told you, and we also discussed, we looked at how this particular component, the millet based product, was also in news, and that is why I've told you that in next session I'll cover that and hence the video. But before starting the session, here's an announcement for all the aspirants who are preparing for central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one stop solution guide for all your queries that you might be having regarding the organization that you want to join. What will be your role once you join the organization? What are the different phases? What is the syllabus? What is the eligibility criteria? What is the exam pattern? And what is the previous year cutoff? All doubts that you have in your mind, everything will get clear once you get through this guidebook. So I want to say, do not miss this golden opportunity. These guidebooks, they are free of cost, and you can download them from the link that is present in the description box below. And we provide it for all the three regulatory bodies, be it RBI, NABARD or SEBI. So everything that you need to know, everything you can find in these guidebooks. And again, the link of it is present in the description down in the description box below, and these are free of cost. So now let's come to the session. So although this is by influence of the last session, but it does not mean it anyhow it links to it. However, I advise you to watch the last session, because there we in detail discuss what is linked incentive, what are the processed food and other things like that, right? But to give you again a general information, what is product linked incentive? It means the government is giving some incentive is basically some money that is given as a reward, and this money will be linked to what? They will be linked to products. So basically government, they want to establish more and more manufacturing unit so that production in India can increase, and because of that the sales will also increase, right? And because of that our export will also increase. So basically the direct aim to have an impact in GDP, and of course to have indirect way employment will be given to many people, right? So with that objective in mind, product linked incentive has been launched. This scheme has been launched, and this is currently for 14 sectors that we also have discussed in the last session. And in last session we looked more focused on the food processing industry, basically where the idea was we have a lot of raw material that is generated from the agriculture sector. Now those can be processed. What is processed? From tomato ketchup, from potato chips, anything that is with some value has been added, and now it's being provided to the consumer. That is known as those are known as processed foods. And in this particular section, in this particular component in today's lecture, we will focus on millet based products. So we know that year 2023 has been declared with the efforts of India as the international year of millets, and India, it is doing a lot of work on this sector. And henceforth this particular section was introduced under the PLI scheme, where the products, the edible products, and do mind that here we are only focusing on the ready to cook and ready to eat products, not the ones, for example, if you have grind the millets and made flour out of it, it will not be included in this particular sector. Only the ones where some value has been added, for example, ready to cook items are being made of millets, maybe cookies are made of millets, and things like this. So only these segment will be included under the scheme. Okay, so this is the basic. Now let's come to the launch year. Launch year of this scheme was 2022. So this section was added in 2022, and we studied how PLI scheme for food processing industry, it was launched in 2021. Okay, and this falls under the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So now this is something simpler to understand. We are focusing on the processed food, and hence the ministry is Ministry of Food and Food Processing Industries. Okay, the aim of this particular scheme. So the aim here in the case of PLI in food processing sector, we looked at how the government want to make manufacturing champions, Indian manufacturing units, and as international champions, and we were also focusing on branding and marketing. But in this case we are focusing on just on the millet based products. So we are focusing on the more usage of millets in ready to cook and ready to eat. So these we looked at, the best example was MTR, right? So where you just add the hot water and it is ready to eat, that is ready to be available, right? So that is ready to cook and ready to eat, which are already made, you can directly consume. Food products, so here we have to increase the usage of millets in ready to eat and ready to cook food products, also to promote its value addition we have understood, right, adding some value to it. And then because of this also, the even the its money is, it's also increases, its rate increases, right. So it is going to directly benefit the farmer because they will get more money for the produce that they were making initially. And encourage their sale in domestic and export market. So here we have to we are focusing on manufacturing as well as selling them abroad and in the domestic market. Duration is up to 2026-27, just like that of the in case we looked at PLI sector. For food processing industry, it is a type of center sector scheme, so the funding will be 100% done by the central government, and the total outlay that has been designed for it, it is rupees 800 crore. In case of food processing industry, it was how much? 10900 crore, right? So 10,900 crore was in that case, but in this case it is 800 crore. Okay, implemented by, so say this is applicable both for PLI for food processing industry as well as for the millet based products. Here there will be an implementing agency which will be called project management agency, and this will be formed by the food processing industry only. So they will make project management agency which will look at that about all the process of application, acceptance, their verification, all these things will be taken care by project management agency. And there will also be one more agency, and the name of it is empowered group of secretariat. So this empowered group of secretariat will monitor that all the implementation that has to be done under the ministry, under the particular scheme, it is being followed or not. So these project management agency, there will be separate project management agencies in case of the food processing sector, and similarly we will have in the millet based product as well. And the empowered group of secretariat will monitor the scheme, is it being properly implemented or not. Now what are the who are the eligible applicants? First of all, we have to look at the applicants for the scheme shall be classified into two categories. In the previous lecture that we have seen, there were three categories that we have observed, right. And again, why am I comparing? See, if you are looking this session for the very first time, please watch the last session because that is also important from the examination point of view. And I am making a comparison for the ones who watch the sessions regularly, so they have a proper comparison and there's a proper revision of what they have studied in the last session also, right. So I hope that's clear. So here we have two categories, and these are the following are the criteria. If you belong to cooperative, if you are a MSME partnership firm, if you are in a company that is registered in India, if it is a limited liability partnership, or any proprietary firm, if you belong to any of these, all are eligible under the category to apply for the scheme. So we have two category, MSME and large entity. ठीक है, आप इनमें से किसी में भी fall कर सकते हो. Now what are the different components? So we are going to look at the important key feature. So see, applicants can avail sale based incentive for millet based product. ठीक है, तो in the previous case we looked at manufacturing, we looked at incentive also, we looked at sale based and also about the marketing and branding, right. But here we are talking about that if any manufacturing unit, if they can avail the incentive if they are having a good sale, how much percent it should be, we will look at in the next slide. But sale based incentive will they will get, but the millet product that they will produce, it should have more than 15% millet content in by weight per volume. What does it mean? That whatever product that you are making, in that more than 15%, it can be 16, it can be even above also, the content of whatever the thing you are making, it should have more than 15% millet. Okay, then only you are eligible under the scheme. Now in that, we have two categories. One is legal entity, we have looked at, right, and one is MSME. So who belong to legal entities? Applicants who are having a minimum sale of food products of rupees 250 crore in the financial year 2020-21. So if they had this much 250 crore of minimum sale in 2020-2021, they are eligible to apply under the scheme. Of course, along with the product that they are making, it has more than 50% of the more than 15% of the millet component. And for MSME, this minimum sale, it is less to rupees 2 crore in financial 2020-2021. Of course, because we are talking about medium, small and micro, small and medium enterprises, right. So that therefore the minimum sale criteria for them, it is quite lesser than comparing to the legal entity. Okay, so if you're following these two criteria, if for example, if I'm MSME, I had more than 2 crore sale, and also I'm providing the product that I'll be manufacturing, it will have more than 15% of millet, I'm eligible. But if I'm someone who had more than 2 crore, but the product that I'm making, it consists of only 1% of millet, then I can't apply under the scheme. Okay, I hope this doubt is clear. And they have one more mandation, that they should be registered under the Udyam registration certification. Okay, they should have this. These are the components. Okay, now let's look at some of the list of the eligible millet based products. Okay, so these are some of the indicative. You can make some new creations also, that is also being open by the government. They are accepting it, but it does not include your normal, as we have discussed before, right? It does not include your flour if you're making it, if it is dehusking. Basically what happens, these millets, they have some outer coat also, and this coat has to be removed before it is edible. So if you have removed this coat and you are presenting it as something processed food, it will not be accepted under the particular scheme. Okay, so this we have to keep in mind. So here product category, for example, breakfast cereal, muesli, etc. Breakfast protein bars can be made, cookies can be made, rusk, cakes, noodle, pasta, anything that you are making, government will going to have a support, give you support. Okay, there are some other eligibility criteria also. Let's look at them. So first of all, yes, Udyam registration certificate is mandatory for the MSME applicants. Apart from that, here incentive will be given first of all to the ones who are already engaged in manufacturing. This is one thing. Or intending to manufacture, if you have not entered this field yet, but you want to join the field, you want to enter this field of manufacturing unit for the millet based product to get the incentive under the scheme, you are most welcome by the government. And also we are talking about sales. So the manufacturing units who are already engaged, who intend to manufacture, and for the sales also, the government is going to provide you with the incentive. Okay, next thing is the minimum to avail this incentive. There should we told in last session also we discussed, and in this session we are also discussing the same thing, that to have those incentive by the government, you should meet some criteria. So what is that criteria? What should be the increment in sale? So basically government says that if any applicant has achieved a minimum compound annual growth rate of 10% on sales, okay, on the eligible product from the base year. So there will be a base year, a particular year will be selected, and from that only the comparison will be made, that how much new sales that you have done, what is the increase in sales that you have done, that is known as incremental sales. Okay, so you should have minimum compound annual growth rate of 10%. So there should be minimum increment of 10% sales that the government want to say, if you want to avail the benefit. Above that it can be anything, and it is not like that the incentive that will be provided, it will be on the basis of the sales that you have done. No, they just care for if you have made more than 10%, minimum 10% of sale, you are eligible under the particular scheme. Okay, the applicants may include eligible product that is not manufacturing presently, as we discussed it before, but intend to manufacture in future, but having that criteria that more than 15% should be the millet in it. The entire chain of the manufacturing process, so we are talking about even the primary processing, we are also talking about if the product is started from the initial stage till the end stage, everything should be done on in Indian soil only. What does it mean? That whatever manufacturing unit you are making and whatever product you will form, each and everything, each and all the steps, they should take place in India only. They cannot be, it's not like that the everything you're doing in India and then packaging you're doing in foreign, any foreign industry, right? Or maybe everything is being made in foreign, but you are then labeling it as an Indian market or Indian company, right? That should not be done. Everything should be from scratch, should be done in India only. These are some of the other eligibility criteria, and if you meet all of them, then in that case you will get the incentive that you will get on the incremental sale. So that will be 10% for the year for 22-23, 23-24 ke liye 10%, 24-25 ke liye 10%, and then in 25-26 it will be 9, and then in the next year it will be 8%. Why decreasing? Because at that time it is expected that the manufacturing unit will have much better sales. So if the incentive is reduced, it is not going to make them with any loss. Okay, so this was about the scheme and the news. We studied in the last session also that the particular scheme was mentioned in news because the in the particular news it was talked about the PLI scheme in food processing sector. So this was also mentioned, and that is why we studied it. And this is a homework for all of you: which among the following statement is correct with respect to the scheme? You have three options and you have to tell the right answer to this. Okay, and these are the toppers of the last session. Krishna said the right answer, we have Rishabh saying the right answer, and then Jaipur Super Block said the right answer. Neil Varasan Neela said the right answer. And see, yes, I humbly apologize. I listened to the recording afterwards and I found out that the quality was not good. But I am and I will take care of these things in future. But there's also humble request for all the aspirants who are watching the live sessions. If during the live session when I ask that if everything is okay, please let me know, because in that case I'm not able to actually listen to my voice. So please let me know in that at that time that there is some problem with the mic, so that I can actually fix it. But yes, whenever there's a recorded session, I always first check and then only I give it for uploading. And yeah, that is all in this particular video. If you have any doubt, any query, you can always write to us in the comment section. And also, if you want me to cover any scheme, do let me know. So we'll meet again in another session. Until then, all the very best for examination, and thank you.